On this episode of Playlog, we're doing our monthly book club. We're talking about Celeste. Oh, goodness gracious. Hello, CGDannyB back in with another episode of Playlog, the podcast where we talk all things indie gaming. But of course, can't talk indie games alone because that's so boring. So I've brought my partner in crime, the Play Nice Kid themselves, Tofr. What's poppin', homie?
I am doing okay. I have not spent any time on Signal, and I have no idea about war information from the US government at all.
This sounds like a pop culture thing that I should know about, and you know more about than I do, because I have no clue what's going on right now. I don't
Basically, all I know is that there was a group on the social media Signal, which had like US like very important people in the US government in it, and then someone like an editor-in-chief for like some major publication, and they were talking very sensitive information on an app that removes all of its communications, which is illegal, by the way, for US government officials.
Ooh.
So it's a whole thing. It's honestly, a whole thing.
At this point, I don't know what is illegal anymore. It's you know, we flip a coin like, oh, this double head. Sorry, you're safe, Mr. Governor. Fucking. Let me tell you, man. All I'm saying is I keep getting new videos about how billionaire stocks are dropping because people stop buying Tesla and other shit. Yeah. Oh man, it's a vibe some days. I want to see it all plummet. I want to see the entire infrastructure just deconstructed and we start over. We all fight to survive. I won't win, but I definitely won't lose. Damn. I'll tell you that. Put me in the ring with Elon. I'm so fucking ready. Bare knuckles, baby. But that's not indie games. That's politics. And those things are boring. Yeah, exactly. And I have such a heavy American skewed audience right now with someone from Belgium, someone from the UK, and a police officer. So, you know, we're just... Anyway, guys, what's poppin'? Happy Tuesday for those of you who are live. Happy Thursday for those watching on YouTube. It is time for our monthly book club. We're going to talk about Celeste, so we're going to give you that in a little bit. Of course, if you're watching this on Twitch, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Feel free to chat with us, say anything along the way as we're talking about the game or any of the news that's coming up. If you're watching this on YouTube, hey, don't forget, at the last Tuesday of the month, we always record our book club, which will be live right here on twitch.tv/CGDannyB, so you can come hang out, join the conversation, use the right inform, etc., etc. I got to double check all the socials because I reached out, like, anybody want anything? And so far, no feedback. So it might just be our thoughts today. So, you know, we'll see how life goes. However, yeah, we also stream games. So go over to Twitch or you're a big loser. That's all. Just like the Indie Maniac, biggest loser I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Wow.
I'm sorry, buddy. I meant it. And it's great because this was a relationship that was like, oh man, what fun dude, just like in indie games. And then he just sucked at fucking not getting over it, chained
just
together.
Because he hydrated, Jesus.
At the wrong time. You know, if I'm driving down, not even driving down the road, we're in a NASCAR race, Tofr. We're in one of the biggest races, or F1, I guess. You guys like F1, or no, that's more Spanish. I don't know. Sure. Do you, whichever cars you guys like. You're in this insane race. And in the middle of it, your mom calls like, hey, honey, don't forget to drink some water. And then you go to take a turn, the sharpest turn of your life, the life or death thing. And you said, I better, whoa, and you crash and die. You could have waited like 10 seconds so you're on a straightaway again. You really should be drinking like that anyway. But you know, you got to do that. So when I'm sitting here, I'm like, all right, guys, ready? 1, 2, and then 3 out of the 4 of us make the jump. And I got a guy like, sorry, guys, I was drinking some water. It's really ruined my entire experience. Personal attacks right out of the gate. Danny's never going to let me go. No, not at all. Mainly because you kept it going by saying it was my fault. And I have all the footage. So anyway, he got me distracted again. I took my ADHD medication, by the way, and I might need a bigger dose.
All over the place. Maybe.
Anyway, let me get back on track and do a little bit of housekeeping for you little degenerates because I love you so much. Quick reminder, if you enjoy Fallout and tabletop RPGs, then boy, do I have the show for you. Sunday nights, we'll be streaming our new series, Fallout 313, run by the astonishing LB Hackemup. Fallout 313 is a role-playing adventure using the Modifius system that's all about rolling not one, but 2 D20s. You add your stats together. You have like, this is the number you want to hit. You roll as long as you're under it. Every number under it, you get additional points. It's worth. I just choked. It's really good. I am playing Finn, a very intelligent super mutant who's far too gentle for his own good and just wants to sniff some flowers. I've had these flowers on my desk for like a month now because we've had a couple weeks off, and I'm just ready for them for Finn. These are also the Boro flowers that are in here now.
Nice.
We got them. But yes, we streamed a premiere a few weeks ago. We've had a couple weeks off with cons and internet issues, but we should be back this Sunday night, the 30th. You can watch it over on the Hack Recklessly Twitch channel if you want to catch us there. And just a few days later, it'll be uploaded to YouTube as well. You can join us at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/hackrecklessly. That is HACKRECKLESSLY. And that is usually in the Discord when we go live as well. Another quick reminder, you're going to be in Boston for PAX East on May 8th through the 11th. Well, so will I. I'll be attending PAX East as a content creator yet again, excited to play some games, talk to developers, and meet more internet friends. I will also be all over the show floor throughout the weekend as a part of the Video Game Trivia Reloaded panel, hosted by Jacob McCord, because this guy, he can't get enough of me, dude. He never gets sick of me. Jacob always have like, Danny, what you doing? I'm like, I'm a little busy, Jacob, but what's up? He's like, panel? I'm like, all right, I'll make some time. But super excited to be a part of that one. The panel will also feature some amazing names like Dave Jackson from Tales of the Backlog and last year's DS panel, Trina Smith from Gamerhead Podcast, Dan Colano, I'm so sorry if I butchered your name, Colona, Dan O'Mac, but also Lightweight Gaming from the Trophy Room Podcast, and Steve Saylor, the blind gamer himself, which is a very exciting one. I was like, Steve followed me on Blue Sky. I'm like, oh my God, everyone, red alert, things are happening. And then I got the 20 Discord messages. I'm like, okay, got it. We're on the same panel. Okay, cool. Whew. Exciting. But yes, this panel will be on Saturday night. This would be the 9th. No, the 10th. The fuck? Thursday, Saturday. Anyway, it's the Saturday night of PAX. We'll figure it out. At 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will not be streamed this time because it's later after the show hours, but Jacob is going to be recording the whole thing, so we'll be posted a few days after the fact on YouTube, so you guys want to watch me be really good at trivia. Promise. But yeah, if you're at PAX, you want to show me your game or just chat, you can find me, or else I'll find you. I put that in there to be threatening. I don't know why, but I thought it was fun. So we're going to rock with it.
I mean, it sounds like you have a particular set of skills.
Yeah. I'm Liam Leeson. But with that timestamp in the book, it's time to get into a little bit of quick indie news. First off, Tofr, Cozy Games. To start off, Netflix's Spirit Crossing is a gorgeous cozy MMO with a lot to prove. So now, this is the weird thing of like, the studio's owned by Netflix, so like, indie, give or take, but also, fuck it, right? You know what I mean? We got that indie legacy. I'm excited to talk about South of Midnight, but you know, to a degree, but Spirit Crossing is the next life sim from the Netflix-owned studio Spryfox, makers of the beloved Animal Crossing like Cozy Grove. Netflix announced the ambitious social MMO this week alongside some other games and a renewed commitment to investing in gaming for years to come. Spirit Crossing will be a big test for just how serious it still is about that. A trailer revealing the game shows characters fishing, dancing, and gliding around a Studio Ghibli-esque world alongside Animal Crossing. Okay, sorry, I read that in the wrong context here. Alongside Animal Crossing, there are clear influences from other Nintendo games like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, with the cute rituals and interactions of Cozy Grove blown out into a more full-fledged online social sim. There will be building, exploration, and more. It could end up being a great game, but will it be great on mobile? So, the rest here is pretty talk about the game, so we'll go through that. But I want to find the trailer again. Anyone who was unaware, Netflix does be doing their fun games catalog through their mobile app. Tofr, I know you played a little bit of Cozy Grove, the sequel, but how often are you playing games on your Netflix account?
I don't have a Netflix account anymore, so that should tell you something.
But
the thing is, I played Cozy Grove Spirit Camp on my previous phone,
Mhm.
which was that phone was about 3 or 4 years old,
Okay.
and I had issues running the game,
Okay.
which isn't ideal.
Yeah.
I now have a better phone, like a newer phone,
Oh
but
yeah.
I'm just wondering how this will run. Just looking at it,
Yeah.
like how will this run on my phone if they couldn't optimize something smaller like Cozy Grove
Right.
well enough?
Yeah, I'm interested with Netflix, right? Because they've done enough of a push with like their games catalog to have a presence, but still not like majority at all. Like I think
Hmm.
most of the games they publish them and hey, here's a game that's already out. We're going to put it on Netflix now, as opposed to like here's something you can only play on Netflix. I think with the exception of Cozy Grove and now Spirit Crossing, which looks
Hmm.
absolutely precious. It's got the Dungeons of Hinterberg vibe, exactly the Breath of the
Yeah.
Wild exploration, everything. Like the game looks adorable. I'm so ready to try it. I want to see them kind of do, I guess, the Xbox path of let's release it on Xbox. And then we're like, hey, it is now coming to PlayStation and Switch and Xbox, which I don't think Cozy Grove has made any formal announcements yet about the sequel coming to anything.
Nope.
But
Nope.
I think the game looks great. I hope it runs well on mobile. I hope it has
Mhm.
that push, but I'm a little concerned. But I still think the game looks adorable. I think the game looks precious. There's nothing about the game I think that looks bad. I just have preconceived notions of, ooh, how's this gonna go? Is it gonna run well? I hope it does.
Yeah, I mean, I did read somewhere that Netflix really wants to like um, remove the need for extra hardware, so that they don't want to
Okay.
push consoles on people.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you limit it to mobile devices, it's a bit of a shame. Like the screens are smaller, the controls will be more iffy
Yeah.
unless you like attach like a controller to your phone,
Mm-hmm.
which apparently does work well with Cozy Grove,
Okay.
or so I've heard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still hoping that maybe someday we'll see both Cozy Grove Camp Spirit and this come to consoles.
Yeah. I'd love to see that. I think just uh, having games everywhere is great. I know console platforms like to have their exclusives, et cetera, et cetera. But I think indies are just this case of like, let's just put it everywhere we can. The games are already going to be struggling enough to get the attention. And when we have 50, 60 indies releasing a week, like, let's
Hmm.
just put them where everyone can get them. Let's work on that, can we?
Yeah.
But yeah, like platform whatnot aside, I think the game looks great. I am not an MMO guy. I
Hmm.
never have the bandwidth to stick around and do these things every day. Like even Cozy Grove is one I struggle with of like, let me hop on every day to do my tasks.
Hmm.
Still love my time with it and like dream of getting back and playing the first one and then the second one. But like stylistically, this is like right up my alley. Look at this big fucking fish.
Yeah.
He's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's
Yeah.
just gonna be a shame if it doesn't come to consoles, then most likely it'll be limited to people who have a Netflix subscription. And
Yep.
you don't want to limit access to your game nowadays.
Right. 100%. I like if it even comes to the point, right, where yeah, you still need a Netflix account, but like all of these platforms can run net. Well, I don't think the Switch ever got Netflix. I'm pretty sure. Can someone double check that for me? I think it's just Hulu and Crunchyroll. I don't think
Mhm.
they have Netflix yet. But like if all these platforms can run Netflix and I'm basically hopefully not streaming, but I can play this through my console version of the game, like or of the app, cool.
Mhm.
Like I'll take that. I mean, I still need an account and everything, but even if I can set up a Netflix account for 7 days, do the week trial or whatever, just to play through the game and have a good time, cool. Let me have
Mhm.
it.
We'll have to wait and see.
We will have to wait and see. We hope. We hope. Let me see. That's wild to not have Netflix after this long, but maybe because it's not as popular in Japan. Netflix did it. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I have no idea about Netflix's popularity overseas. I mean, like for you guys in Belgium, does it seem like everyone's got Netflix? Or are you just like, nah, no fuck with this shit?
I think most people do have an
Okay.
account.
Got
Yeah.
it. Yeah, we're in the spot of like we have everything. I've been trying to convince my family for years, dog. I'm like, just drop DirecTV. We do not need this.
Yeah.
The only reason we had it was for like dad's NFL Sunday ticket, which now is on YouTube
Okay.
TV, which I'm like, we got Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, we got the whole 9 yards. Those alone are like a third of the price they're paying for Netflix, for DirecTV. So I'm like, if we just drop DirecTV, you're saving so much money. But they're just so rooted in like, nah, I like my DirecTV. I'm like, stop, don't do that. You're being a bum.
But you've got like 500 channels with nothing to watch.
Exactly. They're like all the movie channels. I'm like, there's not a single movie that is on there that we cannot find somewhere. If you want to write it on YouTube, it's on Amazon. Even the ones like the rents aren't paying for. I pay for Paramount Plus. Rashawn plays for Amazon. Ashley's got Peacock. Like the big ones. And then you talk about like, what's the sport one? Fubu's a football. I don't know. Whatever the fucking Fofi. I don't know what it is. It's all right. Some football app, but maybe some of the chat knows. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Streaming services, man. Sorry, DirecTV, get out. Anyway, we're rambling about streaming services and indie game thing. Speaking of indie games, this one is from our good friend Jill Grote over at the Gameinformer, because there should be some big news today. Hold on, let me refresh, make sure nothing's happened yet.
Yeah.
Still see nothing news. Hey guys.
Okay.
Gameinformer's got something to say today. Don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be something. Tomorrow, and this is posted last night, tomorrow something wickedly awesome this way comes. The image is the Gameinformer like desk pixelated with some Metroid art on it that says, continue, yes or no. And the article is just a paragraph, says, in case you missed the announcement during the busy GDC week, be sure to keep an eye out for tomorrow's news. Again, that's today now as of recording. Though my coverage of the best indies the show had to offer will kick off even sooner, and you know, Jill's done some great coverage for some of the GDC stuff. Gameinformer's got an announcement today. To me, it sounds like Gameinformer's back. If anyone's not aware, they shut down, oh God, I want to say it was summer of last year. It might have been later than that, but sometime last year, they're like, hey, Gameinformer's done. GameStop's in the can. We're not doing anything with it. And that sucked because a lot of games journalists like lost their positions, had to go find new jobs, or probably still looking for new jobs, or became like freelancers or content creators to compensate for that lost income. And knowing that Gameinformer would be back in this new way is pretty exciting, but also we don't know what it looks like yet until we get that news. So TBD.
Well, keep an eye on it during the episode and maybe update you along the way. We'll
maybe see. Watch this shit. It's just gonna drop like as soon as we end the recording. Be like, oh, crazy! You got the news.
Probably.
Yeah. But I guess put some thoughts on it while we're sitting here, right? So like, I don't know how big of a Rooster Teeth person you ever were, and like they had their like shut down and brought back. Okay, yeah, I'm about the same. I a lot more in high school, but like haven't really in the last couple. Well, obviously the last couple years, but like Rooster Teeth shut down, and then Bernie Burns came back after, I guess, retirement, if you want to call it that, and like repurchased the company and said, all right, cool, Rooster Teeth is coming back. I don't know what that currently looks like. This has the potential to be great again, and I think change in the direction that the industry is like, and not even just the industry, just like media, social media is going, because I think written piece is great. I'm not often one that reads a lot of written pieces. I'm a lot more of like, I digest better with video because like it's like a getting an audiobook type thing, and I can have a visual with it versus like reading a paragraph of like, I read this paragraph 4 times and I have not absorbed anything that I just read.
That's ADHD, baby.
That's ADHD, baby. We love it. But yeah, that's happened like so much. Like the Gameinformer magazine eventually became a thing that got shipped to my house and went on a stack. I'm like, cool, I got another one with some pretty art in the top. Like I love that. But yeah, seeing them shut down, I think so shortly after making like their own just subscription to the website. I want to see Gameinformer come back in a new form that feels fitting for like what the era is right now. And I hope that's the case. I hope that's what's happening.
That would be really cool.
We hope and pray, man. We hope and pray.
Absolutely.
Just gonna refresh one more time. Still nothing. I guess I should probably check the Gameinformer stuff itself.
I'm checking their Blue Sky, but there's nothing there yet.
Okay, yeah, I was checking Twitter real quick. It's taking forever to load. Maybe there's big news. Big news? Nope, nothing new. Nothing new right now. We're trying to. Okay. We'll see. But yeah, Gameinformer. We'll see what comes out of that. World Toy Game Happy said I pay $17 for Disney, Hulu, and Max. Dude, that's a good bundle. That's a good bundle.
That is a good deal.
Yeah, we used to have the Disney, Hulu, ESPN, but no one used ESPN. But like Disney, Hulu, and Max, I mean, you got Invincible, you got Game of Thrones, if that's your cup of tea. I've been rewatching the Marvel movies since like Rivals came out. Like I just watched both Doctor Strange the other night. Good times. Man,
Nice.
the CGI in that eyeball, pretty bad. But
it really is.
Oh man, I remember Rusty shut down. I was kind of sad about that, but I haven't watched Red versus Blue in a few seasons, so I need to catch up. Yeah, and like their content catalog was a big shift too once everything moved on. But yeah, internet, it's a fickle place. However, Tofr, we're here for one thing and one thing only, and that's to create a podcast. But the main thing about the podcast is to talk about this month's book club, which is Celeste, which you got to pick. And I guess before we get into like initial thoughts of the game, why'd you pick Celeste? Why'd you pick Celeste for our book club this month? I didn't prepare you for that one.
The thing is, I always had some kind of love for the game, but I never got around to finishing it because it is quite difficult. And I thought, what better reason to finish the game than to do a book club on it?
Yeah, it was a good pick.
Yeah.
I was excited because I had got my collector edition last year at one point. I was like, dude,
nice.
Can't wait to replay this game. And we're aiming for that platinum, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Real quick before we get talking into Celeste itself, if you're sentences are hard. If you're over there wondering what is Celeste, Celeste is a 2D precision platformer that released on January 25th, 2018 for PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch, and then released on everybody's favorite platform, Google Stadia, in July of 2022. Mwah. Rip, you ugly thing. I did like this controller, I did, but
okay.
Sorry, Stadia. You just needed games, buddy. You needed games. It was developed and published by Maddie Makes Games, or Madeline Thorson, who currently works at Extremely OK Games, the development studio that she co-founded and whose upcoming game Earthblade has recently been canceled. Super unfortunate, but can't wait to see what they do next. And their only previous game is also super, super good. It's Towerfall Ascension, one of our big couch co-op games. If you guys just want something to play with your friends, it's like Smash Bros, but you're shooting bow and arrow. It's so fucking fun. Please go play Towerfall Ascension. If they make a new one, brother, that'd be so cool.
That would be really cool.
I would love it. The game has an overall Metacritic score of 92 and sits at an overwhelmingly positive rating on Steam, with 97% of reviews being positive, which is fucking awesome. I want to read the negatives and see what people have to say about that. Weirdos.
Probably that it's woke or something.
Probably, dude. Honestly. The game is an evolution of the game, which is now known as Celeste Classic, a Pico 8 game. You say Pico 8? Is that how you say? Okay, 8. Cool. Pico game created by Madeline with Noah Barry. Continuing on from the original game, Celeste sees you play as Madeline, a young woman who needs to climb Celeste Mountain because reasons. You do this through some pretty brutal precision platforming through over 700 different screens divided into 8 chapters. Tofr. We both played Celeste. We've both beaten Celeste. What are your initial thoughts on Celeste?
Once again, like, I already knew this, even if I didn't finish the game, but playing it again just confirmed once again that this game handles like one of the best games I've ever played.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you need good controls for a precision platformer, but I have not played a game that handles this well since, and it's been 7 years since Celeste released, which I think says something. It's just such a beautiful combination of these fantastic controls, beautiful visuals, intricate storytelling. Because you have the dialogue sections, but I think the actual platforming tells a story in itself as well. And then this gorgeous soundtrack by Lena Raine. All of it just makes this, like, I want to say that this is the indie game, even though it's not my favorite. But I just think it's just the indie game.
Yeah, absolutely. Like echoing everything you said. Saw your face might just been covered while I was trying to pull up footage. Enjoy that. Oh, Lena Raine music, baby. Let's pop that open. No, 1000%. I remember back in 2018, like, this was not a game that was on my radar in the slightest. I
Okay.
hadn't really heard of it. And I remember kind of funny, they did like hey, a game came out today. IGN gave it a 10 out of 10. And like, they don't do that. Like when they do that, like, it means something, right? So
Mhm.
like, okay, let me see what this Celeste thing is. And at first I was like perplexed, right? Because it was a difficult platformer. Like everybody's making those. The goal is to get mad and not beat the game and blah, 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 blah. But
Mhm.
holy shit, man. Like after getting through 2 chapters, I'm like, this game is special. Like gameplay controls, everything feels great. But there's this impactful narrative of this game that I think everybody should play Celeste. Like
Mhm.
gamer. Okay, sorry, maybe non-gamer. I get if you don't play games, it'd be weird. But like, if you play games to any degree, like this is the game I think everybody should experience. Like there's the narrative bits, the gameplay is so it's set up in a position of like, yes, the game is challenging. The game is meant to be challenging. You're meant to feel that accomplishment, which you can say about a lot of things like a Dark Souls or any kind of challenging platformer, anything. But this game sets itself in a position of like, yeah, you're gonna die a lot, but you're
Mhm.
not being punished for dying. Every puzzle in this game is set up in an individual room, some longer than others, of course, but your whole goal is to find yourself getting better at doing the reflexes and be like, cool, I got through the thing. I nailed it this time. Even if that's
Mhm.
2, 3, 40, 60, 100 tries later, it's all so snappy and so quick that like, you're not doing the I died and went back to a spawn point and I have to get there and try again. You're there to do it again, like instantly.
Mhm.
And Celeste nails that in a way that I can't say I've ever felt in another game in my life. And the amount of people I'm like, do you just play Celeste? They're like, why? I'm like, oh, brother, you gotta, you just gotta. It's so
You
great.
gotta. It is.
Yeah, I'm a huge
And
fan of this game.
yeah, and especially since like okay, gameplay is phenomenal,
Mm-hmm.
but it also tells such an impactful story.
Yeah.
It like you have both the what many people see it as like commenting on mental health issues,
Mm-hmm.
but then there's also like the creator Madeline's own story with being transgender
Mm-hmm.
and discovering that while making this game. She's even said that Madeline in the game is canonically trans, but also doesn't maybe didn't realize it, or just got round to realizing it by the time that the game came round or something.
Okay.
Um, it's it. I like games like this don't come around very often,
No.
and I'm just in awe of what the team has made here.
It's I'm just like watching this back and I played Celeste back in 2018. I beat it, and once I rolled credits, I kind of put it down. But like, it's lived with me since then. I have not
Mm-hmm.
launched the game to play it like myself since 2018. Like,
Okay.
I left it installed. I might have been like, "Yo, friend, check out this first level and like get a feel for it." Like, okay, this feels good, but like I hadn't picked it up. And
Mm-hmm.
the moment I picked up the thumbsticks again to play like earlier this month to prepare for this episode, I was like, "Fuck!" It's like I never left. It feels so intuitive, and the world, the characters, everything feels so familiar. Where I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, good to see friends again. Good to see these good friends just all over
Mm-hmm.
again, even when they're going through sad stuff.
So did you use any assist mode at all during your your playthrough?
I did not until I beat the game. So once I rolled credits on the main game, so I played through
Mm-hmm.
start to finish, completely natural, no accessibility options. Um, I'm aiming for the platinum of this game, which I'm fairly
Mm-hmm.
close to. I basically just have to beat the B-side tapes, and then once I do that, you'll get the seed side tapes. Then I have to beat the C-side tapes. Then I'll have the platinum. So that's
Damn.
all I'm really missing at this point. I think I have 5 of the 8 done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a busy fellow. We have a lot of things to work on, a lot of games to play, and I would like to get this
Yeah.
platinum just said and done. So yes, as soon as I could, I put on the accessibility options that made it I could just kind of blitz through levels. I have the infinite
Mhm.
dashes. I have no damage, and something else. I didn't put on any of the slow time stuff. But yeah, I open these B levels. I'm just like dig, 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 just dipping through the level. Just be like, cool, got another crystal
Nice.
heart. But yes, I played through the base game all natural, all as is with all the challenge and everything with it. But now, Tofr, I have to ask you: did you play with any accessibility options?
Well, I didn't go for the B tapes or anything.
Okay.
But I played through the game. Everything except for the 8th level, which is the
Okay.
core of the mountain.
Yeah.
And I did not use any assists, which I am pretty damn proud of. Like I'm not the best at video games. I've mentioned that before on this very podcast.
Yeah.
I am not really good at games, and when I look back at my previous save file for Celeste, I had like died over 600 times, and I was only halfway through the game, and I was like, oh, so playing this felt like climbing my own Celeste mountain.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And managing to get to the top was just exhilarating. I remember the final level when you have like these flags that remind you like there's only so many flags left until you reach the summit. I was like, this is happening. This is happening. What? Oh my god.
It's so
It felt
great.
so special.
I love that for you, dude. It's 100%. Like just mentioned last level, which less of a spoiler. It's really just the format of the final level. But yeah, like you kind of like a reset and start climbing the mountain again, go through the different sections. You're reliving chapters. Like, oh, I remember we did this the first time. But when you get to like the final stretch, like, cool, there's 30 pit stops left, and that's the end. And you have some longer than others, but like you'll hit a checkpoint. That's 30. That's 29. That's 28. So there's just this continuous countdown of like, I'm right at the end. I can just see the end right in front of me. And like, especially as you get to that like final 10, and like they get a little more challenging, nothing that's like undoable. Anyone can beat this game, even if you use the accessibility options, which there's no shame in doing. But like, absolutely, you hit that, you're like, oh, I'm right there. And you hit that top, like, I beat Celeste. I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
like
so rewarding.
That whole final level it felt like it gave me wings. Because it's supposed to be the most challenging part of the game.
Yeah.
And I flew through it. Like there were many parts of the game, mostly halfway through, where I struggled a lot more than I did with that final climb.
Yeah.
And it was just I felt what Madeline was feeling, and that made it so special.
Yeah, dude. It's great that they nail that, right? And it's one of the things I always mention about why I love indies is how they're not always can't wait to make a big insane blockbuster hit that's going to be like, dude, escapism, man. I can't wait to see a cool thing that I would never get to experience in real life. And obviously it's a video game. There's still fiction to it. But like, this is a narrative. This is someone's story, as you know, inflated as it is, and how the level of fiction and things that aren't real are included. Like, this is what somebody was going through, both before, in the midst of developing this game, and probably still after. Like, this game hits. It tells that narrative so well in these very simple yet adorable cutscenes that just take place like sometimes in the middle, mostly at the beginning or end of chapters, where you're like, hey, Madeline, what's up? You're like, just climbing a mountain. Okay, have fun with that. And you have these milestone moments of like, hey, I know you're trying, but like, you kind of suck. Maybe you shouldn't. And these are all coming from, I guess, is battling the communal.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So then battling, which is like your inner voice of just like self-doubt of like, you can't do this. You suck. It's a waste of time. You're not going to accomplish anything. You're going to give it up just like anything else. And like, it's just this purple haired version of Madeline, which is constantly just up in your ear, just like, you fucking suck. You better stop. Which ends up giving like Madeline herself like panic attacks consistently of like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I can't do this. But the people around you, some helpful, some not so much. But it's so great to feel the familiarity of like just humanity while playing Celeste. I love it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I have to say, like, one of the reasons why this game particularly hits me is I've been working on my mental health for the last quarter of my life.
Yeah.
The past 10 years, I have been in and out of therapy, trying to get better. And one of the things that I struggled with most in the beginning of that journey was that I had this they call it an inner critic.
Okay.
And that's basically this voice inside of your head that's just constantly going like, you can't do this. You should give up. You suck. I hate you. And it's just there. And it is it can ruin basically anything that you try to do. Anything that you set out to achieve, it's gonna be like, nah, you're not gonna make it. That's not an option. Why are you even bothering? And the thing is, during my years of therapy, I have learned that this critic is there for a reason, and it's not to get you down. It's actually trying to help you in a very warped kind of way. It's trying to protect you because it knows that you can't handle failure. So if you don't try, you can't fail. And I think in the game, Madeline is represented beautifully in that very same way. She's there and she's trying to protect Madeline from the failure of not reaching the top of the mountain. But the thing is, she doesn't need to. So, like, Madeline is growing, is evolving as a person, and she can actually do this. But the how should I put this? The way to get there is not to reject Madeline and this inner critic, but to like hug it and keep it close and be like, I see what you're trying to do for me and I appreciate it, but I don't need you to do that anymore. I will listen to you when you tell me to be careful, but you don't need to stop me from doing anything anymore.
Yeah.
It's okay. We can make it through this together. And that's basically the story that this game tells, and I just think they absolutely nail it.
They absolutely no, totally agree. I that there's a lot to unpack there. I was like, damn, saying a lot of things, saying a lot of things real loud there, Tofr, saying a lot of things real loud over there. 1000%. And I think the longer I've sat on this game and realized the story that it intended to tell and how they nail it, like it to some could be the like, oh cool, here's the little motivational piece of like, oh cool, we could all do anything we put our minds to, but like again, there's a level of realism and personal impact that goes into this one that feels like I'm telling a story of how I got through it, how people making this game got through it. And that makes it feel so much more real than just a regular, fictional tale of like, they did it, our hero completed the task. And just using the experience you had, right? Everything you just reflected on and saying like, this is where I saw myself and Madeline and the other me and the other Madeline and how that, impacted your progression. And even saying like, now you're like, I beat Celeste now, I did it. And I had my Madeline story. I climbed my Celeste mountain. It's like really dope.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of years ago, I would never have made it through the entire game. I wouldn't even have turned on the assist modes because I didn't deserve to get help to try and get through the game. That's what this inner critic was telling me. You don't deserve help. You're just gonna fuck it up anyway. And to finally be able to play this and finish it and to live with Madeline through this story is just, it feels like an honor, really.
I love that for you. I'm glad you got to beat it. I know we talked about like one day we'll do Celeste. You're like, I hadn't finished it. Hopefully I will. I was like, yeah, if you need the accessibility mode, like I'm such a proponent of use the shit you need. I think games are such a beautiful medium for that. And as someone who has never needed accessibility options, the privilege of, vision, reflex, everything else has not been an issue that I've had to deal with personally. Anytime I would see someone like, oh my God, make your game easy, I guess. I'm like, why do you care? Why does it matter to you at all? The only spot I can see it is like, okay, cool. There's a video game that's a multiplayer game that affects my performance. If I lose because someone has the ability to aim better, blah, 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 blah. Sure. Maybe a little bit of bitch fit, but get over it. Like literally something that is a single player experience that someone else's playthrough has nothing to do with yours. It doesn't affect the way either of you finish the game, like me playing a
Mhm.
game with accessibility and you not, won't change the way we both experience the story. Like
Mhm.
it is such a non-issue that people want to find an issue with. And I've always hated
Yeah.
that. So like when I say like I didn't use it until I'm like, cool, I got to the end of the game, I'm ready to move on and get something else, but I want this platinum. Fuck yeah, I'm blitzing through levels because I know it'll take me forever to beat all these B-side tapes because they're really hard. Like the game
Yeah.
itself is really hard. But I'm like, dude, if I could get through these levels without dying another 1,000 times by the time I roll credits, sure,
Mhm.
let me get it done. Let me do it.
Oh, you
Um,
found the Celeste Classic levels.
I did. I was a trophy for it. I had to go climb that mountain. But
Okay.
yeah, they're really fun because it's the same game, just minimal style. Um,
Mhm.
I was a big fan of this one. I struggle with some levels. I'm like, dog, would you let me fucking climb this goddamn mountain? Um, luckily these strawberries didn't count for any trophies, so I was like, I missed a bunch. I'm gonna move on. But
Okay.
yeah, the Pico's great. It does remind me that like Celeste 64 exists, which I've never played, and I need to do that.
Oh
Yeah, I
no.
know. I remember when it dropped, I was like, oh, this is a cute little like fan art thing. I'm like, oh, this is the game. This is real. Oh, I got to get to that. And I
Yeah.
like have it's bookmarked, I guarantee, in Chrome. It's just now been moved back. But I'm like, I got to bookmark this and this and this. I got to scroll for it again. But um, it's probably a great way because I think we mentioned we might be jumping around a little bit, but you put down like the legacy of the game, including like the DLC, Celeste 64, and other things like that. You want to talk like, I guess, some of the outside influences game has had.
Um, I mostly want to talk about the Celeste 64 game because that was
Yeah.
made by the original team
Oh yeah.
to recreate the start of the of Celeste,
Mm-hmm.
but reimagined as a Nintendo 64 platformer, and it doesn't play as well as the actual Celeste game does.
Yeah.
But like Lena Raine made some new music for it, especially,
Ooh, that I didn't
which I
know.
really liked. Yeah, and it just looks adorable. If you look up like a trailer or something, it Madeline looks just adorable, and I love that. I haven't finished Celeste 64
Okay.
because I played it back when I was still suffering from my inner critic a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I do intend to go back to it now because just look at her.
Yeah, dude, it's precious. It's so cute. I love it. Yeah, the visual style is great. I like back in my college days, I'm a sucker for 3D over 2D in a lot of cases.
Mhm,
But progressively as I play more indies, I'm like, I guess some of these just feel more suited for 2D. And I'd have
mhm,
to imagine Celeste is the same case. There's such a 2D planar thing to it where I'm like, yeah, this just feels more natural this way, but also like
mhm.
this is so fucking cute. This is so
It
adorable.
is.
I love the
And
visual style.
I think they made this in like 48 hours or something.
Oh
So
shit. Okay.
that's pretty insane. Like because it handles really well for a game that was made so quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus this version just gives me so much short hike vibes. I'm like, okay. All
Oh yeah.
right. You got me. You got me. Because I couldn't find just a trailer. This is this is Alpha Rad's video. So I just pulled that
Okay.
up real quick. So yeah, I'm a sucker for Celeste as a franchise. I don't have a lot of Celeste merch. Go figure. On this day, I forgot to grab my Celeste mug. I totally should have done
Oh,
that. I know. I
I
just
forgot
have
my hat.
my Black Panther shaker bottle. Man, I wasn't thinking.
Oh no.
Um, but yeah, like Celeste, I have the mug. My buddy Kanai got me like the vinyl 2 years ago, I think, for Christmas.
You have the
Um,
vinyl.
yeah, I think it's the I think
Oh,
it's just the farewell one, I believe. So
still.
it's not the yeah, but it's so nice to have. It's so great, and I'm not a vinyl person. Like I don't listen to them all that
Mhm,
much. Like I have a few. I've got like the King of Cards from Shovel Knight. I've got Can I also got me Sea of Stars, that collection for this past Christmas. Like I do enjoy having them. I think they're cool pieces to see on the shelf.
mhm.
And Celeste feels like right at home, and I'm like, man, I have this. This is pretty. This is nice to have.
That is. That is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's such a you said earlier, like it may not be my favorite, but like it's one of the best. And
Mhm,
you think like the Mount Rushmore of indie games or like top 10 indie games that like exist, period. Like I think Celeste stands in all of these categories of like, yes, it should be there. And
mhm,
the only argument I ever see, right? not that I ever see, but like that I could possibly see, is when I think about, I made my Balatro video. People are like, I don't get it. Like, what's the point? Like, what, how is it good? I'm like, play it. Like, I'm not going to play it. I'm like, cool. Then you don't get an opinion. You don't get it. You just won't. And I'm sorry, you can't review a movie without seeing the movie. All you Ironheart haters. It's not even fucking out yet. Shut your fucking mouth. But yeah, anyone who's just like, Celeste is bad, I've never touched it, I'm like, you're crazy. You have no opinion. Yeah. You're wrong. I don't listen to you. But like, man, it's so hard to see a world where like all of us good indie gamers universally don't find Celeste in that top spot, in one of those top spots anyway. It's so great.
Yeah, it's around that top 3.
Yeah.
And I guess depending on the day when you ask me, it might be in a different spot within that top 3, but it's going to be in that top 3 any day of the week.
Yeah. Absolutely. I could listen, I could see a spot where we argue for one. It's a good one. Yeah, again, like, cuz it totally not my favorite. I think if I made a top 10, I could see it landing there, but I have, in personal reflection on games like, you know, Shovel Knights, Cupheads, Owlboys, Moonlighters, these things that hit like a lot more personally for me just because I love them. But like, even if it's not in like a personal top 10, it's in a, I'm not delirious. Like I'm not, you know, I'm not throwing thoughts out the window. I understand where this game belongs. It's very clear how important Celeste is to just games, period. But yeah, special game. Such a special game.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like just gameplay wise, it wouldn't be in my top 10 because it's not my type of game. I don't like precision platformers.
Yeah.
But this one, I mean, the difficulty of the game is part of the story of how difficult it is for Madeline to tackle this journey.
Yeah.
And that's why I really wanted to play it without using assist mode, because I wanted to feel her struggle. And I'll admit there was some out loud shouting going on at times while I was playing this, where I was like, "This is impossible! No one can do this!
It's not real!"
And then I did it.
Yeah, you did. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I love that for you, dude. I'm trying to think back to my first playthrough, right? Of like, I know I struggled this time. Like, I don't know if you have the number. I think I rounded out my playthrough. I'm sure the screenshot's on my phone. I want to say like 1,011 deaths. I think is.
I went over 1,000 as well.
Nah, you don't have to say it. You can get the screenshot. You can be like, dude, 20 deaths max.
No.
No.
It was way down from my previous playthrough.
Hell
like
yeah!
When I hit the same point where I stopped last time.
Yeah.
I had like half of the number of that I had when I played it in my first run.
Okay.
So that was an improvement.
Fuck yeah. 0 deaths here. Never played the game. Indie Maniac didn't just tell me he's never played Celeste.
Oh.
Indie Maniac.
Oh.
Change your username. Right now. Right now. Change your username. Listen. There's the funny haha hatred. I actually kind of hate you right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No.
Honestly, brother. Hold on. You're banned.
Danny hate.
You're banned. Donate when you finish Celeste. Donate $25. I'll unban you. But for now, I need you to go. I need you to disappear. Obviously kidding, but also, brother, listen. You're in a safe-ish place here, but I'm gonna tell you this: if you're gonna run around with Indie Man, you better go fucking play some goddamn Celeste, brother. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Just play it because it's a gift to yourself to allow yourself to play Celeste.
It genuinely is. Like, it's so. I hate it, right? Because I love using the word magical when I talk about games, and like how that's a game that I loved. When I'm like, this game felt magical, like that's like a Danny seal of approval. Like, next time I get quoted in a game, I want somebody who's magical, and they're like, oh, that means Danny fucking loved it. Like, that means Danny really liked that shit. And this has that both in its aesthetic with the blues and the purples, man. The blues and the purples are just, they're so blue and purple. Right? They're so, yeah. But yeah, I like narratively, visually, the music is so, it's such a standout. Like Lana Rain kills it in this. And knowing that like that's what, as far as I know, is like put her on the map of like, yes, like the Celeste's music, yeah, she back, she working on something new. We're like, okay, what you got? What you got?
Yeah.
It's
she
great.
also creates games, by the way.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
What else she working on?
Yeah, you can find them on itch.io.
It's crazy.
Let me quickly check.
What she got?
Because
The time.
I remember installing one of her games, but I never got around to actually playing it yet.
Radical Dreamland. This doesn't look like it's her. Chicory.
How can I find this? Yeah, she did the music for Chicory.
She did. Oh man, Chicory. That's another future book club for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Might be a long one. We'll see. I think on the game, so I got you. Yeah, do that. Do that. Get on
Go
it.
for it.
Yeah. Thinking about like influence again, right? Like after going to, it was even before PAX, but like Black Mat Studios is working on Lucid, which like they quite literally, they call it a Celestoidvania. Like the whole thing is it's a Metroidvania that plays like Celeste. And like, I guess Celeste is probably not the first to use this gameplay movement of like dash, grab the diamond, go again type deal. But like, it is certainly the one that a lot more people recognize from Celeste.
Yeah.
So like, again, you have like the Metroidvania is inspired by Metroid and Castlevania, and knowing that like Celestoidvania currently, I think one in of its own, like it's its own, like Lucid's kind of the only one doing it right now, at least in their marketing. But like, dude, I love that. And I'm super excited for Lucid as well. So I'm like, great. I'm going to have a not harder, but like a more gritty Celeste gameplay experience when Lucid comes out. I think it's scheduled for this year. I forget. But I think that's cool.
I think there was another game. Was it A Sister's Journey or something? Let me check.
That sounds like a Lana game.
It mostly looks like a Celestoidvania.
Oh, yes. I do remember we talked about this one. Yes. Dude, we should have given Madeline a gun. That's what I want the accessibility mode. I want a gun. Now there's a lot of enemies to shoot, but like imagine. You just get to shoot the gun for no reason.
Shoot the level. Create your own openings to go through.
That sounds like a YouTube animation if I ever heard one. So it starts blitzing.
Did you have like a particular level that stood out for you?
Ooh, I always have memories of the hotel one. And I think not because it's my favorite, but I feel like Celeste feels so linear in the way of like, go to a room, beat the room, go to the next room. There's a few spots where it's a little more Metroidvania-like, where you have to unlock this door, get this key, come back and open the thing, right? And like, the hotel's probably the most, guilty is aggressive, but the most guilty of that, right? Where I have to go in 3 separate paths, get the things, come back, open the path, go to the next room. And that's where I always feel like it's going to slow down for me. I'm like, I want to just keep progressing, and it never does. I'm like, oh, bet we nailed this shit. It feels great. But like Reflection, which I think is level 7, the one where you have made so much progress and then you fall back down, and now you're on your way back to going back up, is such a visually beautiful level. But you unlock the feathers, which gives you this whole new like ability of locomotion, coupled with the familiar yet like new parts of like crystals that align all the stage, everything. Like it's easily just sits there with me. I love that level so much. Yeah. How about you?
I would have answered the same thing. The hotel one sticks. The hotel one sticks with me as well because Mr. Oshiro, I think he's called.
Yeah, sounds
is
Oshiro.
Such a tragic character. Like, he represents the like something similar that as what Madeline is going through, but who is someone who's unable to take that next step to let go of what's keeping them back. And then how his story influences Madeline's story, where she goes and makes the wrong assumption that she has to let go of Madeline. I felt that was really interesting. So that's why that part of the game sticks with me as well.
For sure. It's also one of the few levels that has like a character that you really experience with in the level. Like you have Theo throughout a few where he's like, hey friend, I want to take some selfies. Like you have like, I believe it's like your first like major panic attack moment, and he's there with you on the ski lift,
the
kind
elevator,
of like like talking you down. And Theo's kind of like your best buddy throughout the game. But most levels are kind of just you isolated with the puzzles and or battling. So like you don't have a lot of interactions with people. So the hotel we have Oshiro, he's kind of the one you're interacting with there, and the occasional grandma popping up. Like it's definitely a standout level because you have someone to bounce off of. Not even bounce off, and you're not choosing dialogue, you're experiencing it, but you feel that humanity. I keep using humanity this episode, but I think it fits. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I love the conversation you have with Theo where you actually get to pick dialogue options for once. That felt really good, especially as to like have a breather within all of this platforming. It's just a moment to like let everything sink down and like get yourself prepared to continue.
Yeah.
I loved that. And Theo is just funny.
He was dope. He was dope. Man, I wish I had that man's hairline. Theo. This motherfucker. So unfair. Oh man. Yeah, I adore Celeste.
I wanted to ask you something as well.
Yes, absolutely.
When you make it down after you reach the summit, you go back into the hut. There's this old lady's hut.
Yeah.
And you make a strawberry cake.
Yes.
I had not collected a lot of strawberries.
Okay.
So when when my cutscene went something like, this was supposed to be a strawberry pie and there are no strawberries in here. Did you get the same thing?
I don't think I did. I don't recall. Okay. Let me see here. I have the screenshot. I finished the game with 128 out of the 175 strawberries.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You're not going to have that same problem.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, I think I had enough strawberries. I don't know. I've never, because the strawberries are such an interesting thing of like, no need to collect them unless you're going for the platinum or you want the completion like I am. Like they are such you want to grab them? Go for it. But they're just that little twinkle on the screen of like, come on. Come get the strawberry, you little bastard. I'm like, I want that shit. I want that strawberry. And then you have the few that are like, these strawberries have wings. And if you dash in that room, they fly away. So you kind of have to reset. And some of them block you out. So you can't just leave the room and come back in. You're like, I did it. I came in here. I got to start the whole level over because I messed up. Damn it. I got to get that strawberry. But I got those bastards. I got them. Because like I started, again, the plan was to platinum the game from the get-go. I wanted to make sure that was something I did. I've always wanted to platinum Celeste, and it's just a matter of installing and playing. And as I started, I would beat the level, pull up a walkthrough, find the strawberries I missed, go to level 2, beat the level, pull up the guide, do whatever, and like go as I went. But I found that was taking me longer to beat the game. Like I need to finish the game for the podcast. So I ended up around chapter 4. I'm like, let me pause, beat the game. Came back and then just like knocked out all the strawberries, and that just made it go faster. And then as I hit the end, I'm like, cool, I have all these strawberries. I missed this B-side tape. I missed this crystal heart. So I have to go get those and, go through all levels and do that. But it was satisfying to go through them again and find everything. And now, because you mentioned chapter 8, which is the core, where like you need to have 4 of the crystal hearts from the different levels to do that level. And then as you complete that, trying to think of how that ends. But I guess irrelevant to the conversation. You unlock that with 4 core hearts, and then once you do all the B-side tapes, you get a crystal heart for completing each one, which then you will get a B-side tape for the core, which you'll go back in with those hearts, do the B-side of the core, which is some challenging level. It's got some like ice and fire, switchy button torches and stuff like that. It's some bouncing, some burning, and that's a lot. But when you're using the assist mode, who fucking cares? Am I right? But yeah, it's weird to say fun because I'm blitzing through it without like actually playing and like getting that success. But hey, I got my success by rolling credits, so we're gonna run it. But so the plan, I have 3 more B-sides to knock out. That'll get me back to the core. That should, if I understand, unlock the C size for each level. I don't know if I have to earn those like individually or if they just like, here they all are, and then blitz through those, pop the platinum. It's all, yeah, I think I have trophies for beat 5, 6, 7, 8, and then C sides like is one trophy in itself. So should be pretty close. Yeah.
Damn.
We killing it. We doing a damn thing.
I might return to it someday to experience even more of the game, but for now it felt like reaching the summit felt like such a perfect end to the story.
Yeah.
That I didn't particularly feel the need to have like this kind of epilogue. Is there like any story to what happens in the core?
Probably.
Okay.
When you start, it does like a few months later, grandma's there. She's like, there's the path. You open the gate and then you go through this stuff. And I know you finish the level. I want to say a dialogue happened, but I'm honestly blanking at this moment of how.
Oh no.
Did I see the footage? I don't know if I did core footage. No, because I stopped recording as soon as we hit the summit. So I don't have anything post credits. So I know also you unlock chapter 9, which is like the farewell chapter, I think is after you beat the core.
Yeah, I never got around to playing that.
Yeah, which I was saving. I was like, I'm going to do this after I get the platinum. So I was like, don't have anything to say on the farewell now. And I'm wondering if I'm like, oh, I know what this is. I've seen enough Celeste that I know what's in the farewell chapter. And I just not aware that that's what it is. Or if it's going to be like, oh shit, this is all new to me. I have no idea.
But, oh damn! I have no idea what's in the farewell DLC.
Yeah.
I've always tried to avoid spoilers for Celeste.
Yeah.
And I've managed it so far, so I guess I'll have to. Now I have to go back into the core.
You got to. Listen, honestly, throw on those accessibility modes. Go get, you might have to grab some hearts. You need 4 hearts to get in there. So if you don't have the hearts, they're going to be like, fuck off. But, you know, they're easy enough. You can just run the level, grab one, bounce. As soon as you collect it, land on the ground, save and exit, you're good. You got the heart. But yeah, I you know, if you just want to see it through and see what the ending is, yeah, knock it out. Fuck it, run it. Oh boy. Any other thoughts on Celeste here?
I love how this game tells both the story of like mental health issues, but also of a person realizing that they might be in the wrong body, and how your mind deals with that. I can't speak from experience. I mean, I identify as non-binary, but I don't know what it feels like to be a trans woman.
Yeah.
And the fact that one of the most impactful indie games of all time tells the story of a trans woman, I love that. Yeah. That's also one of the reasons why I picked this game for this month, because I feel like trans people are going through it right now. They seem to be quite the target for like a lot of more right-wing people in countries around the world, and it's good to see some trans joy, and Celeste definitely is trans joy.
Yeah. Oh, we love it. We fucking love it. Guys, please play Celeste. If you didn't play it for this book club, if you're like, you know what, actually, I'm kind of sold. I'm kind of into it. Please. Like, you have to. Celeste.
It regularly goes on sale for like a couple of dollars as well.
So much. I want to say it was like 99 cents during the spring. I think it was Undertale. It's always on sale for 99 cents. It's super cheap. It's on PlayStation Plus if you have premium or higher. I want to say Medic checked for me. I think it was still on Game Pass, or I'm making that up. I don't know, one or the other. It's out there. It's on everything.
Yeah.
It is on Game Pass. Cool. Appreciate it. Just look. Thank you, Maniac. You've gained a little bit of cred back, but you still haven't played it. So fucking get on it. It's like me calling myself the Shovel Knight guy and never touching Shovel Knight. What the fuck? What? All right, okay. I'll stop shit on Maniac for the next like 5 minutes. But Tofr, it's another book club in the books, you know, pun intended, which means we have to plan for our next book club. And it's your now. I don't think we ever clarified how we changed a little bit this year. We were doing 2 and 2, where it's like we pick a classic and more modern. So like you pick
Mhm.
classic modern, then I pick classic modern, classic, back and forth. So right now it's your turn to pick our next modern game. So if you want to tell the Scrumplies what our plan is for
Well,
April.
well, last year, Simogo, the developer of Sayonara Wild Hearts, released a new game called Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, which had reviewers were raving about it, but it doesn't seem like it really picked up with players because it only has less than 2,000 reviews on Steam, and it's a puzzle game. Like you are inside this old Baroque manor, somewhere in Central Europe, and you enter in search of answers. And this is one of those games where you need like a notebook and a pen just to like keep track of everything, because the puzzles will come at you in any way you choose to solve them. And yeah, it looks stunning, which is no surprise given how good Sayonara Wild Hearts looked.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently it plays fantastically as well, and it tells a really good story. So I'm very excited to dig in, because this is one that might have been in my top 10 from last year if I actually got round to playing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was excited when you're like, we're probably gonna play this one. It was absolutely one of those games I'm like, I gotta play it for Game of the Year time, and it slipped under with everything else I was playing. I didn't get around to it.
Yeah, same.
I'm trying to think. I'm like trying to think back. Did I have any mutuals where like I loved it, I hated it, I had this beef with it? I remember Jacob McCourt playing it, but I can't say I remember his impressions. I remember Janet Garcia playing it on stream, and she was like, I like it, but I feel like I'm not finding some of the puzzle things very intuitive. And I'm like, okay, interesting. So I definitely want to jump in myself and see like how I play with it. Plus, now the game's been out long enough. If we get stuck, there's a walkthrough. We could figure it out. We could get there. So someone knows the answer. So yeah, I'm excited to play through, and I'll do the thing where I'm like, guys, I got no clue. Time to go to the IGN walkthrough and be like, got it. I had to turn this one and get it. So yeah, I'm excited. I do like the visual style. I did like Sayonara Wild Hearts, so I'm excited for Lorelei as well.
Cool.
Oh yeah. And that'll be our, didn't check the date this time. I usually do that. That'll be our April.
Let me see.
29th episode? That seems right.
No, 22nd.
22nd. That's right. Why isn't it on 29th?
The 29th. We didn't do the 29th because then it would only release on the 1st of May. And then it wouldn't be our April book club.
True. That's right. That is how that went.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the day. April 22nd. We'll be talking Lorelei and the Laser Eye. So if you want to check it out, gives you about a month to play. I think that's on everything these days. PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, Switch. Pretty sure.
I think so.
If it's not, bug the devs. Don't put it on your platform.
Let me see. PlayStation, Switch. Oh, PlayStation, Switch, and PC. Not on Xbox. Apparently.
Not the green boy? Yikes. Hate to see it. So sorry.
Listen, everything is an Xbox now.
It's true. Everything's an Xbox. This is an Xbox. I do like playing some of my cloud games on it. That is indeed a fact. But yeah, Lord and the Laser Eye next month. Look forward to it. We'll be doing that.
Hell yeah.
And then timestamp. So now, Tofr, it's time to talk about what we've been playing. Would you like to go first for this one?
Sure. I can be quite quick about my first game.
Alrighty.
It's a little game called Spilled. I might have mentioned it before.
A couple times.
Yeah. It's a tiny game. It took me like an hour to finish.
Okay.
Made by this girl called Lente, which is Dutch for spring. And in it, you have your boat and you clean up the oceans. You clean up oil spills and other kinds of waste and restore natural life to all of these areas. And that's all there is to it. But it's just such a good, wholesome time. Like the gameplay loop for this, delicious. No, seriously, like all of the sounds are spot on. The atmosphere, the music is great. The boat handles really well. It's not too finicky. Like the levels are well designed. It looks beautiful. I remember after the first demo, the game got a graphical update for the second demo, but it feels like they even improved on that second update as well. It just looks gorgeous. When the cleaner the water gets, the more you get to see like the fish that live there, and the plants that are there as well. It's such a good time, and I really wish that it had more content than it does. That's the only critical thing I can say is like it's only an hour long, and sure, I'll go back to it because it's that much fun, but the levels never change. They're not procedurally generated or anything. So I'm gonna be doing the exact same thing again. But it's fine because it's just so much fun.
Yeah, I loved that demo when they did the graphical update. I thought it was great. It is such a vibe. This feels like one when they'd be like, hey, come into PlayStation. I'm like, bet. That's an afternoon where we knock out an easy platinum. Like,
yeah.
I definitely want to go. I got my review key. I haven't touched it yet.
Okay.
But I'm excited to just do like a quick like out. We knocked out Spilled. It was fun. Yeah, you're right. It is a vibe. You just kind of relax and clean up the water. And you had mentioned like the more you clean, the more you see in the water. And I'm like, oh, look at the clownfish in the middle of a lake for some reason. Okay, yeah, biology. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it Spilled looks great. This is one that I'm like, I feel like somewhere to like 10% of the proceeds go to saving the water. And I like not to put that. Okay. I think that sounds right.
Check.
I always want to be hesitant. I never want to be like, they said they're giving money to the wild. Like, I didn't say that. This is all mine. I'm like, oh, sorry. Put you on the dime.
10 cents of every sale will be donated to the Whale and Dolphin Conservation Center.
We love whales. Dolphins are okay. They're kind of assholes. Hell yeah. And do you have what that runs on Steam right now? What the full price of the game is?
I don't know yet because it's not out yet.
Oh shit! Right. Yikes! Sorry, team. Y'all don't got it yet, stinkers.
Well, I don't think it's gonna be very expensive considering it's only an hour long.
Yeah.
But I like this type of game where it respects the fact that we, as adults, don't have that much time, and in a similar way to like Minami Lane by Doot, which also was like a quick playthrough. Yeah. I like this type of game. Also, something I should mention because I mentioned it in my written review over on So Many Games at Coda UK. It's just that this game, despite like its minimalist setting, for me it represented hope because while the oil spills and all of the other waste is human made, the solution to clean everything up is also human made. So it confirmed for me that there's like hope that as a people we can change and we can change for the better. And yeah, I like that.
It's true, people. We could do it. Well, y'all lazy. I say y'all. I'm lazy too sometimes. No, guys, I somewhat relevant, but not really. I like to go on a walk through like our neighborhood, right? And I'm like, oh, I haven't taken this back road in forever, and I'm constantly just finding like trash laying around, and like the amount of times I'm like, I should just buy one of those little like roadside pincher things and just bring a Walmart bag with me and just start, picking things up as I go. And every time I'm like, I didn't do that. I should have done that. Just because I'll be real. I don't know where someone dropped that vape pen down there. I don't know whose mouth that's been in. I don't really want to touch them with my bare hands. But like, just the amount of just like energy drink bottles, some Coke bottles that have a strange yellow liquid, which I can only assume is piss. So I don't really touch that with my hand.
No.
But it'd be nice if I would fucking pick some of that shit up while I'm walking around because life, Earth, we only got one. We got to clean it.
That's true.
Any other thoughts on Spilled?
That was it. I'm curious to hear about your first game.
All right, let me tell you about Urban Jungle. So, I got an email about this game a few weeks ago. Press email. I got a key for it. So shout out to the team for setting me up. From the initial trailer of this game, it very much gave the vibe of this is unpacking in 3D. And I was very like, oh shit, I'm on board, dude. This looks awesome. After I got into it, I realized it's not quite that. It is more like plant matchmaker simulator with a little bit of unpacking on the side.
Okay.
So like you'll start a level that's just like, all right, here's your progress bar. Pick 2 plants, and you can either take the free plants, which you just grab, put them in the world, or as you complete, it's weird to say complete tasks for the plants, you'll unlock money, which you can then buy bigger and more, extravagant plants that have a little more to them. Every plant has either they like humidity or they don't, they like sunlight or they don't, or they want to sit next to like their best buddy, which is another type of plant. I can say after about an hour and a half, I was not feeling this one.
Okay.
It became, it was a little too, I hate to, because I like puzzles, but it felt more like a chore puzzle than a fun puzzle for me.
Oh no.
Where like I grab some plants and they're like, cool. The snake plant loves to sit next to the coleus. I don't know flowers like that. My Fallout character would love flowers, but Danny don't know nothing about flowers. I'm like, cool. Where's this coleus that they keep telling me about? And I don't think I ever got one, or if I did, it was like labeled differently. I'm like, I don't know what this is. The way you set it up is as you go into the room, they'll be like, there's buckets of water, there's windows that have sunlight coming in, and those will define like the humidity, the sunlight you get for each plant. And then as you place them, they'll show like, oh, you completed this, you completed that, you completed this. The first level was really just putting plants everywhere. I think my problem became that I love to make it as aesthetically pleasing as possible. And depending which plants you get, unless you get like the perfect run, the perfect draw, like not all plants are going to like each other. And to progress to the next level, you have to get enough plants that you can satiate with the humidity, the sunlight, their buddies, to get XP to move to the next one. A lot of times I felt like I had to just slap things on the table. I'm like, ugh, like this is a dining room table. I can't just put a big plant in the middle of it because no one's going to be able to eat at it. And the game doesn't care about that. It really doesn't. Danny cares about that though. Like Danny cares. I'm like, my room looks ugly. I'm also not a houseplant guy. I don't like the chore of taking care of flowers. I think they take up a lot of space. My mom has always been a houseplant person. So anytime I moved around and knocked over a flower, I'm like, why do we have so many fucking flowers in this house? There's so many fucking flowers. So I wanted to be more into it. As you get through other levels, they'll introduce like, all right, cool. As you get started, hey, there's a box upstairs. Unpack it and put all the stuff on the first floor. Go downstairs, unpack that box, put everything on the second floor. Here's a dehumidifier. Like, put this in the room and make sure that it's affecting a plant. I'm like, okay, got it. So they're become these unpacking tasks, right? Of like, okay, this is why I got into the game because I thought it was going to be this. Once you knock those out, it does become put the flowers next to their friends again. I'm like, I don't really want to do this part, which is not me saying game is bad for this reason. It's I had a different expectation coming in and it's not what I wanted out of the game. I could say if this was like, if Danny bought the game expecting unpacking and didn't get it, I'd be a lot more on like, oh man, this ain't it, chief. Again, receiving it for free, I can't sit there and complain about the game not being what I want it to be. But yeah, I think anyone that I was like, dude, 3D unpacking, baby, you got to keep an eye on it. I'm like, yo, sorry for misleading you. I thought it was something else. But no, like it's super cozy. I could totally see people getting lost in this game and having a good time. Not myself, but I could totally see other people. And I want to say, I think I saw the No Small Games girls cover the game at one point as well. So they might be a lot higher on it than I was. But yeah, if it looks like your vibe still, give it a shot.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think, yeah. Listen, go for it. Listen, we got to figure out. I'll just set you up with the Steam family thing. And be like, hey, just download the game from my account and play it. You know? Okay. But yeah, it's cute. Visually, I love it. But yeah, the plant dating sim, not even dating sim, just matchmaker part is like, not really for me. Not really my move.
Okay.
But yeah, Urban Jungle. I probably got through the first like 4 levels ish before I decided to like wrap up. So I don't know how much longer the game is, but yeah, you know, it's a game.
It sure is.
That's all I got in Urban Jungle, and you finally got to
Mm.
play a game that I'm excited about, which I have to pull up my footage, but everyone know Tofr played their own game and not me. But you finally got to play R.E.P.O.
I did. Not only did I receive that beautiful display from Daphne, she also bought me a copy of R.E.P.O. so I could play it with her and her partner, and it is a blast. Like it's such a good time. It's one of those games where you're like it's a struggle to become good at it.
Yeah.
Especially at the start because you're still figuring out what all of these monsters are, what they do, how you can like evade them or combat them.
Yep.
But yeah, it's scary, but maybe slightly less scary than Lethal Company. I think this one is more funny and less scary, while Lethal Company, like the sliders are slightly different there.
Yeah.
But it's such a good time. Like you're these cute robots. The chat function for that is
so
hilarious. And then there's just the goddamn monsters. There was one monster called the Hidden, which you can't see except for his footsteps. And we had just started the level, and then he carried me all the way across to the other side, and I tried to make it back to the other players, and the Hidden just caught up with me time and time again. I was like, great, this is fine. And then all of a sudden, I made it quite far out, and I heard something, so I went tiny mode, and then I saw Daphne's head just being carried around. And she's like, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. And I was like, yes, she's still alive.
Yeah.
We can still do this. And we actually made it out of the level in the end. So.
Let's go. We love it. You're right. It is so satisfying to like go through the loop of this. It's so funny because it's not unskill based, right? Like it's like, oh, cool, I got good at a thing. I did the thing right. I didn't fuck up. But like some of the dumbest shit can happen. Like there's a clip, I'm going to post it on TikTok, I think at some point this week on the Clips channel, but a buddy Kanai gets one of the jewels. When you kill a monster, they drop like a heart, like an orb, which is usually worth like a good chunk of money. And Kanai gets one and brings it back to the ship. He's like, ooh, I'm gonna call you Sparky. And guys being dumb and stupid and loud, and Connor's like, I bet you could shove that up my asshole. And like, oh, come here, Bubba. Let's be dumb and goofy about it. And then Kanai rounds a corner and just smacks it into our buddy Chris's head, and it just shatters like on impact. He's like, no. And we got like nothing out of it, but it's just this great moment of like, that's pretty shitty. That's pretty dumb. And like you mentioned the Hidden, and same guy Kanai. I'm rounding into a room as I just get knocked the fuck out. And I'm like, what just happened? As I'm looking up, I just see his body floating by like, he's gonna fuck me. He's gonna fuck. And just running away with Kanai's body. I'm like, this game's pretty great. This game's pretty awesome.
It is. I love the clips that you've been posting on your socials as well. Like with the singing and all that.
Let me tell you, playing with LB, she had played the game before us, so it was a lot of like, I'm not sure what we're doing. And she's like, do this, pick this up, whatever. But then also just like, because they don't know what they're doing, I can bully them about it, which was great. Trying to set up a time to play with her again, and just schedules suck. Adulting, dude, honestly.
Yeah.
I know she'll be playing again on Friday. I have D&D, so unless all of a sudden Connor's like, we're not playing this week, I won't be a part of that stream, unfortunately. But yeah, dude, R.E.P.O's a blast. Super great. I know we talked at some point on the weekend, we got to get together and try and play. Daphne, open invitation as well. So I think it'd be a blast. It's
I love how like some of these monsters like influence your voice.
Yeah, dude.
Like you have this one where your voice goes all squeaky.
Yeah.
And then you have the what you call it, where you move in slow motion, but then your voice also goes to slow motion.
Yeah, the like hourglass.
That's hilarious.
Thing. Yeah,
hourglass. That's the thing.
It's so good. It's so fantastic, man. And I'm excited to see more because like we're at the spot where I feel like I've seen. I don't know how much of the game I've seen, but it feels like there's so much more that hasn't crossed my path yet. But eventually they'll be like, the first R.E.P.O major update, adding 17 new monsters, 3 new rooms, a bunch of new items. Like, oh my God, look at all this content.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The,
game's fun.
the only thing I noticed is that I feel like this game is probably made by Americans.
Okay.
Because, like, buying a pan is like $30. Buying a gun is 15, maybe. Grenades, $3. Take a grenade.
It's so we barely buy
like,
the items.
Is this shopping at Walmart?
No, they have such low prices, dude. Because Walmart undercuts the fucking distributor, or I guess they're whatever the fuck. The people who make the product, they're like, we're gonna pay you less so we can sell it for less, but then people are gonna buy it at us so we get more money. So Walmart does that. They're low prices.
Damn.
So you shop local, guys. Don't use Walmart. Yeah, dude, such a blast. I'm looking forward to getting together at some weekend here and playing because R.E.P.O is so fun. And I know the hype will die down eventually. There'll be some new multiplayer game, which is why I'm like, oh god, if we could change the schedule so I can always be like, guys, let's play R.E.P.O this weekend. Let's do it. Because they'll do the Lethal Company thing where something new comes around, we won't be playing anymore. But you know, we found the time to play some R.E.P.O. Be a good time.
We'll find a moment.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. Plus, listen, guys, I'm just saying, MonsterCon's next month, baby. We're fucking dropping everything. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying R.E.P.O. I'm like excited that you got a chance to play. I'm excited to play it here soon. Eventually, one time day things, you know.
We'll make it work.
We'll make it work. We'll get there. We'll get there. One more game for me. This weekend, I got to stream the GunBoat God playtest. Which I got to play. We saw it at a mix showcase a while back. I cannot think of like when it was, whatever. But it is this dope 2D shmup, where you end up in this boat, that is constructed by this crocodile, named Yeti. Okay. And he's just like, welcome. Sure. This is mine. I don't know if I trust you yet, but it's time for you to run my ship and kill all the things on the screen. And hold on, this is a very talkative stream, so forgive me, there's just lulls of me doing anything. At the selling point, this game is fucking gorgeous. I love the visual style. It's got a lot of like Patapon and Loco Roco energy to it, which I'm a big fan of. As someone who hasn't really invested in either of those games, I've always loved the visual style. But the playtest, you just go to Steam, hit request, you get it instantly. It's like, I think it's 8-ish levels right now. The game is scheduled to come out sometime next year in 2026. But yeah, you kind of just move left or right on the screen. There's a lot of momentum behind it where you hit enemies that gives you a charge meter, and the charge lets you jump and dive further. Once you're dodging different terrain, you'll eventually get an upgrade where you can just dash yourself. You'll get a upgrade that gives you 2 dashes. You unlock new weapons. There's more of a shotgun one. Like there's the Eruptor, which I like. It's like a grenade launcher that'll explode in the air. That one does a lot of damage to a lot of things. Hold on, we're doing Cop Cutie. Just not the footage I need right now.
Cop Cutie.
Cute and on duty. It's challenging for sure. The first few levels, I'm like, cool, I got through with 3 to 5 stars. Like I was killing it each time. When like I got to the final level of the playtest, the whole thing was like, yo, survive the onslaught, bitch. And the level was divided into basically 2 giant rooms that had a giant like we'll say a stalactite and a stalagmite where there's just a little space to dive in between. So you had to dash through, jump, shoot everything, dash back over. There were tidal waves coming through. So it was the most like busy level in the game. But like, even as I sat there, I blame chat halfway because I was getting distracted talking to everything instead of like focusing on the level. I probably would have beat it sooner. And then I had some runs where I'm just like, I just made a dumb mistake. I didn't dodge that thing. I don't know why I didn't dodge the thing. I totally should have dodged the thing. But yeah, there's going to be 5 different biomes. They currently say there's over 200 levels are going to be in the game when it releases, which I think the only concern I may have is finding it getting stale. Because right now I think there's like 4 or 5-ish different like objectives where they're like, okay, race to the other side of the map. You race back, race back, a couple laps. There's just beat everything, like destroy everything on the screen. There'll be like zones, which you have to defeat enemies in those zones to get different, like, oh, I beat enough enemy, moves to the next one, do it again. Which everyone's been unique enough. I'm like, oh, cool, I just have to do something a little bit different. I'm wondering, like, are there going to be 20, 30, 40 different types of challenges, and how different are they going to be? but also I know there'll be boss fights. The playtest didn't have any boss fights, and that's what I was like really looking forward to. Like, oh, what is this gonna feel like? There's a I'm thinking about this now. I didn't think about it till now. There's a pepper grinder vibe to it that I like, and like saying it out loud, I'm like, ooh, okay, hold on. And I'm hoping, thinking about the bosses from Pepper Grinder, that that's what this feels like as we get to some of these boss encounters. But it's sick.
Okay.
I'm having a great time. It's, again, I'm so influenced by the visuals of it first, where I'm like, I can't wait to see what this game's about when I get into it. Then I'm like, dude, yeah, I'm here for it. So this is easily what I'm most anticipated for 2026. I'm hoping for another playtest. Yeah, Gunboat God, baby. Wish listed right now. Amazing. Go play the playtest.
Yeah, it does look beautiful, and everything moves so smoothly as well.
Yeah. I had no performance issues either with how much stuff is going on the screen at any given time. Like, it's a lot of shit. But like at no point was I getting like these frame hiccups, or I'm like, oh no, my inputs are just like great. Ran great. Ran like butter.
Nice. Very cool.
Very, very cool. But yeah, team, that's what we've been playing. Which means I can close a bunch of folders now because I don't have to show a lot more footage. I'm gonna close this and this and this and this and this and this and this, and good, we're golden. Which means, chat, it's time we tell you about the indies releasing this week. We're talking the week of March 27th through April 2nd. To start off, we've got Karma: The Dark World releasing on March 27th for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. We have Your House releasing on March 27th for PC. Twilight Monk on March 27th for Switch and PC. In Zoe, I think is how you pronounce the game. Sure.
I think so.
In Zoe on March 28th for PC and Early Access. Tower of Kelmonvo. Indie games have funny names. On March 28th for PC. Merchant 64 on March 31st for PC. Post Trauma finally coming out on March 30th for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Space Sprouts finally coming out March 31st for PC. Sultan's Game on March 31st for Switch and PC. Wild Keepers Rising on March 31st for PC and Early Access. Game Not Over on March 31st for PC. Korra on March... Koira, yeah. Koira on April 1st for PlayStation and PC, and then Bugaboo Pocket on April 2nd for PC. I wanted to double check Koira because I think Gameinformer has listed for the 14th, and that's what I had on my list. And then I was like,
but Steam says that it's coming out on April 1st. So
that's what I thought.
I think Steam is the correct date.
Okay, cool. So right now it's the first. If it's not the first, Tofr lied to you.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Yep. Clip it. We have the confession. But yeah, interesting list this week where I can't say there's one that I'm immediately like, yes, this game's finally here. I can't wait.
Okay.
I know I've been getting a few emails about Wild Keepers Rising, which I think I'm thinking of the right game, is like a Pokemon-esque. That's not the tower defense, is it? Which one's Wild Keepers Rising? There's so many. Action roguelike. Okay. Yeah. So that's one that I think is less on my radar and more like had my attention. But I don't know if there's anyone here standing out so you're like, yes, dude, it's here. I mean,
Koira, I'm really curious about Koira, which is a game that's being published by Don't Nod.
Oh, okay.
And it's this beautiful hand-drawn adventure game, which I'm really looking forward to. And Space Sprouts is another one that I'm really, really eager to start playing. Space Sprouts is a game where you tell like your grandchild, I think, about how you traveled from your home world to your current home world. But like the first time you tell the story, it takes about 3 minutes. And then your grandchild is like, but don't you remember more and stuff like that? And then you go back, and then with the questions that your grandchild has asked, you can explore more of the ship.
Yeah.
And every time you make that same journey again and again, you explore more and more of the ship and more of the story and more of your own family history. And yeah, I think that one's gonna be special too.
Yeah, I think we talked about that one during Next Fest, if I recall. I know it was recently, hell yeah. Yeah, that one does look fun. That would look cool. But yeah, guys, that's what's coming out this week. Look forward to it. I'm working on the April video this time. I'm trying not to skip it like we did for March. We got the script going, so stick with me.
Cool.
couple heavy days at the beginning of the week, but hopefully I got a lull in here. I can get some more progress on that. So fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know in the comments if there's any of those games you're looking forward to. And with that, we're on to our indie spotlight, where we highlight a game that either is not getting a lot of attention or upcoming one you should keep on your radar. And Tofr, it is your turn to talk about an indie game.
Yeah, I just realized that I have no idea how to pronounce the last word. So this game is called
Soujourner?
Signs of the Sojourner?
Sounds right.
Yeah, I guess so. It's a narrative card game about relationships and communication, where you travel around as like kind of salesman. You're like a late teen, early 20 something. So this is like the first time you leave home to actually work and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the most interesting thing here is the card game, because playing cards is how you have conversations with people. For the people who are watching right now on Twitch or on the YouTube version, you can see that every card has like symbols on both sides. These can be triangles, these can be squares, these can be circles. But the thing is, when you visit different areas of the map, these people will have different languages to you. And conversation, when you're unable to match the symbols on the cards with each other, the conversation will break down because you're not understanding each other. So you get to play. As you travel to these places, you collect new cards with these new symbols, because some of these symbols you don't even have at the start of the game. And it's up to you to like decide, do I want to like pick up a little bit of every language, or do I just settle for one or two languages? It's really interesting, and it's a really cool reflection on how intricate communication can be between people.
Yeah. We mentioned a little bit before. I was like, I remember this name, but I can't think of the game. I looked it up. I'm like, right. It reminds me so much of Chants of Sonar, which is also very language heavy, of like, oh yeah, I don't know what you're saying. You don't know what I'm saying, but based on your actions, I'm like, okay, that symbol might mean hi. This one means open. This one means close. But yeah, seeing the puzzle mechanic of it, where I'm like, oh, this must be PlayStation footage. It's got the circles and the squares and the triangles. I'm like, nope, that's the game. Yeah, but it looks super dope. I could see myself getting lost in this one for sure.
Yeah, it's really cool. I struggled with it the first time I played it, because I didn't understand the idea behind the symbols being languages.
Yeah.
So I got stuck, and I didn't understand why I got stuck. But then I think a year or so later, I tried it again.
Yeah.
And it's a really special experience.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, guys. Go play it. It's on at least Steam. I assume it's on other platforms. $19.99. Or you can get the bundle that comes with the soundtrack, $26.98. But I gotta wish list that one, so it's on there.
Nice.
Dope. Hell yeah, team. Eurovision's nice. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I think with that, we are in a good spot. I think we're wrapping up here, dude.
I think so.
All everybody, fuck me, I'm in a spot, dude. Hey guys, thank you so much for hanging out for this episode of the podcast. If it's your first time watching, be sure to subscribe and stick around for the channel. If you're here on Twitch, be sure to follow. We do this podcast once a month live. We just finished our Celeste BookClub, so we'll be doing Lorelei and Laser Eye for next month. So if you want to get in that conversation, be sure to play the game, catch up with us. If you enjoy the show, leave a 5-star review on Spotify, Amazon Podcast, wherever you listen to your stuff at. It's a great time. Tofr, if little scrubbly bubblies wanted to find you on the internet, where could they go?
My link tree is the easiest way, because that holds all the links, and that's Play Nice Kids in one word. And also head over to so manygames.co.uk, where you can find my latest review of Spilled, along with plenty of other reviews by my beautiful colleagues.
Hey, beautiful colleagues.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up Gameinformer again quick to see if anything new has dropped. Just double checking here and fucking Gameinformer.
Oh, yeah, 6 minutes ago. Gameinformer is back.
Was that Blue Sky? Twitter?
On Blue Sky. The entire team is returning, and we can't wait to reconnect. Come join us to
Okay.
celebrate the best in games, the people who make games, and the people who play games from all around the world.
Love that. Oh, that's so great. The entire team is returning? Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, Alex Van Aken, yay! Okay, cool. I just sit there, I was just like, wow. I was honestly a little shocked that, like, it's the thing of like, okay, the company shut down once, how many people had moved on to new projects and anything else. And I'd be like, everybody? Just, see if that team has changed at all. But like, that's great. That's really cool. I'm excited to see, again, how this looks for a new Gameinformer now. But, hell fucking yeah, dude. We love it. Anyway, we got distracted. Gameinformer news. It's there, baby. We got it. And of course, if you guys would stick around and catch me doing all kinds of things indie, you can find me at CGDannyB all over the interwebs. We, again, Sunday nights over on the Hack Recklessly Twitch channel, we're doing Fallout 313 for the next 3 weeks then. I guess that would be 4 because the 1 week, some weeks. I'll post about it in the Discord. But I think we're good. We're going to cut the recording now and we got shit to do. So love you guys. Mwah.